The Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel was a very surprising shoe, in a good way. After logging lots of miles in the Salomon Aero Glide and the Aero Glide 2, let's just say I wasn't very excited for this version, albeit the gravel variety, but I am happy to say that Salomon has a real winner on their hands here. Stay tuned to find out why. Well, hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Steven. I do want to let you know that Salomon did send the Aero Glide 3 Gravel to me to test and review. They are not telling me what to say. They're not going to see this footage at all before you do here on YouTube. And as always, my thoughts are my own and completely honest, whether that's good or bad. To start this off, let's talk about the stats of the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel. First off, it is a gravel shoe, or a shoe designed for that road to trail type scenario. And it is actually pretty darn flexible. I mean, I'm able to move this without using too much force. Now, this is a maximally cushioned shoe, which you can see there is a lot of this midsole foam. Well, the stack height comes in at 40 millimeters in the rear and 32 millimeters in the front for an 8 millimeter drop. And as for the weight, my men's size 11 weighed in at 10.6 ounces or 302 grams, which really is a pretty good weight for a shoe with this much stack. For the sizing and the fit, my men's size 11 fit my foot just like all other Salomons did. So if you know your size in Salomon, you should be good to go. The upper of the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is interesting. Salomon doesn't even say what it is as far as the material on their website or even in the spec sheet they sent me with the shoe. The only thing it mentions is that the upper is an innovative, seamless material with the internal sense-of-fit construction. To me, the upper of the gravel shoe here really seems to be more of kind of like a knit material. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the upper on the Pulsar Trail here from Salomon as well, but a bit more jacquard knit feeling. The upper is only slightly breathable. You can see here from the tissue test when I had the hairdryer on low, the tissue pretty much didn't move. It didn't come up really much at all. Even when I switched that hairdryer to high, the tissue still did not come up very much at all. Now, I have run in the Aero Glide 3 Gravel here in the Colorado mountains in the mid 70 degree temperature, which here in Colorado on a sunny day, that can feel pretty darn hot. But my foot so far has not overheated, not felt warm. However, I could see this being a little warm if you lived in a climate with very warm temperatures, maybe in very hot and humid as well. Inside the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is the sense-of-fit construction, which is really very similar to the EndoFit construction of the Pulsar Trail. Some people have even said it's the same. But basically that's designed to give your foot a very secure hug and kind of lock down over that foot, which we will talk about lockdown in more detail over different parts of the shoe. First is the forefoot or the toe box here, and it felt pretty ample for my kind of normal width foot. I had plenty of room, didn't have any hot spots or blisters on my toes. It was really pretty comfortable. The toe bumper on the gravel shoe here is also very minimal. This overlay is very flexible. It moves pretty easily. But that's also because the shoe is designed for gravel, crushed gravel trails. It's not designed to be going out on technical, very rocky, rooty trails where you might, be smashing your foot into a rock. It's not meant for that. The midfoot is also a pretty good size for my kind of normal to maybe slightly narrow width foot. Fit me just fine, no hot spots or blisters, that kind of thing. It was really pretty comfortable. I would say overall the width of the entire shoe, the heel, the midfoot, and the forefoot is probably a little wider than some of your, other Salomons that might have been a little bit more narrow. This fit pretty darn well. The tongue of the Aero Glide 3 Gravel variety here is kind of a neoprene-esque material, and it's very comfortable. It is fully gusseted, and it does a great job of helping keep rocks out of the shoe. After all, it's meant to run on kind of crushed gravel paths, and it does a good job at keeping your foot safe from those. The tongue is padded enough to keep your foot safe and comfortable from the lacing system, and it's also a little bit stretchy as well. I actually really like the tongue on the Aero Glide 3 Gravel a lot better than on the regular Aero Glide 3, which, that review will be out soon. The lacing system is, simple and effective. It does its job well. The shoe stays tied. The lay flat laces lay flat, they stay tied. The heel collar on the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is also very comfortable. It's nicely padded. It really just kind of hugs my heel very well and comfortable. Honestly, it's probably one of the more comfortable heel collars that I have tested lately, and I've not had any issues either with Achilles discomfort. It is very comfortable. Overall, the upper is very comfortable, but I can tell that this is definitely a shoe designed for gravel or kind of hard-packed trails, as that gravel name implies. The midsole of the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is where the shoe really surprised me. Like I said in the intro, I have logged lots of miles in the Salomon Aero Glide, the Aero Glide 2, and they both left me very unimpressed. to say the least. However, I am very happy to say that Salomon ditched that foam and went with a completely new foam that is much better. The Aero Glide 3 Gravel comes with a supercritical beaded TPU midsole foam, which Salomon calls the Salomon Foam Evo, and it is fun. It is energetic, it's bouncy, and more importantly, it's just fun to run on. That was really my biggest issue with the previous version of the Aero Glide 2 here, and the Aero Glide for that matter. It was just unresponsive. It just felt dead, and it was not fun to run in at all. However, the Salomon Foam Evo is totally different, completely new, awesome. As soon as I put the shoe on my foot, I was smiling. I was excited to go try this shoe out and to run in it. I gotta say, it kind of feels a little bit like the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro, that kind of level of bounce. And it's fun. When running uphill in these, the energetic midsole felt great. It really was, it was awesome. So I've worn these so far on a very easy crushed gravel path, even with a little bit of snow on it, and they felt great. I've also worn these up the Manitou incline a couple of times now, and then down Bar Trail. And again, they felt awesome. I've even worn them running up Bar Trail, which kind of averaged like a 12 to 15% incline. And it was just great. It was energetic, responsive. It was just fun. It felt great. Now, parts of Bar Trail can be very technical and rocky. There's a lot of looser rock. There's bigger rocks you kind of have to jump over or jump from one rock to the other. And I felt very confident doing that in the Aero Glide 3 Gravel. And these felt way more confidence inspiring than the Merrell MTL Adapt and way more comfortable than the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide. I think the Aero Glide 3 Gravel would be a perfect shoe for a crushed gravel ultra marathon. Maybe you live in Colorado and you're familiar with the 24 Hours of Palmer Lake, which is a loop around a lake. It's crushed gravel. This shoe would be absolutely perfect for that type of situation, or any other trail very similar to that. Overall, I have been very surprised by this midsole, and it's just fun to run on. The outsole of the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is a new gravel Conta Grip compound from Salomon, and the lugs are a chevron multi-directional, as you can see. Now, the lugs are minimal, as this is designed for, like I said, crushed gravel, hard-packed dirt trails, so they are very minimal at probably only a 2 to 2.5 millimeter in depth. Now, I found this outsole to be pretty awesome when you are using the shoe for what it is intended for. However, when you push the bounds a little bit, like I did running up Bar Trail, down Bar Trail, I really found that it was not the best. But again, I was pushing the limits of using the shoe for not for what it's intended for. Bar Trail, for example, is mainly rock with many sections of very loose, small rocks. I found that the 2-ish millimeter depth lugs on the Aero Glide 3 Gravel here were not really deep enough to really bite that loose terrain that was sliding. And I also found that when jumping from rock to rock, if my foot was off cambered, like maybe angled like this or even down like this, that the Conta Grip didn't have the tackiness that I needed. I did slip a couple of times, nothing excessive, but just a little bit. With that said though, on crushed gravel paths or even a little bit of light snow like you see in this clip here, they were awesome. They felt great. Excellent traction. Overall, the outsole of the Aero Glide 3 Gravel is really pretty excellent when you are using it on trails that it was designed for. Well, the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel retails for $160 US, which really to me seems like a pretty good price when you consider it has a supercritical midsole foam. Be sure to look below in the description. There is a link to go purchase these. That is an affiliate link. It's going to help support the channel, but it's not going to cost you anything extra. The bottom line of the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel is these are really pretty fantastic shoes. The upper is road shoe comfortable. That midsole is energetic, it's bouncy, it's fun, it's comfortable, and the outsole works great on gravel. Now, I have really enjoyed running in these. It is a fun shoe. It's comfortable, and I can definitely recommend you give them a shot. Well, if you tried the Salomon Aero Glide 3 Gravel, if so, let us know below in the comments. I'm sure everyone would like to hear your thoughts as well. Now, another gravel-inspired shoe is the Craft Explore. Take a look at that full review on your screen right over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to Salomon for sending the shoes. I'll see you on the next one.